Well, great evening, and welcome to the Next Level Mastermind Author Showcase. I am your host, Coach Pamela Lue-Hing. I'm Coach P. I'm a business coach, a speaker, and a 10-time author, and I educate, equip, and empower those coaches who are ready to package their brilliance and take it to the marketplace with confidence. I have over 13 years as a coach. Actually, it's over 14 years now, 30 plus years as an entrepreneur, and we really help in the Powerhouse Coach in Motion movement. We help those coaches become those triple threats, those coaches, those speakers, and those authors. And so through our Powerhouse Unlimited ecosystem, this is where we equip those coaches to build profitable business, profitable and purpose-driven businesses. So I'm going to slow down just a moment. I'm just as nervous as some of all of the coaches coming to share their books tonight. So I'm just going to breathe, y'all. Let me just take a second to breathe. All right. So how is everybody doing tonight? I'm so glad that you're here. Thank you. Please share. We're going to give you a minute to go ahead and share. If you can, connect. Share the live to your social media. That is going to be awesome. You are in for a treat tonight. I am so honored to have each of these dynamic women coaches here tonight who are going to share their literary work with you. They're going to talk about the reasons behind their work, their literary work, the heart, the passion behind their work. And so I am really, really thrilled because they are a part of our Next Level Mastermind, as well as our Coach with Confidence Academy. So they have been doing the work, y'all. They've been putting in the work. So if you are out there and you are really interested in writing a book, God has been speaking to you like, okay, I got to get this book written. Your inspiration is happening tonight. Ideas are going to be happening tonight. So we want to invite you to ask any questions that you have, and we will definitely make sure that your questions get answered. So I am excited to bring to the stage our very first author tonight, our very first author. And our very first author is none other than Coach Tavia Jacks. She is a certified transformational life coach, author, and U.S. Marine. For over 20 years, she's helped people break limits, accelerate results, and build rich, purpose-driven lives. And so with that being said, I am going to bring to the stage Coach Tavia Jacks. Hello there, Coach Tavia.
Hello, Coach P. Thank you so much for the opportunity to be here with you today.
I am so excited. I know that you have limited time tonight, and I am thankful to you for taking time to come and share with us your heart, a part of your heart tonight, and that is your book. So please tell us the title of your book and what inspired you to write it.
Absolutely. So the title of my book is Dare to Dream, and I have it right here with me. So it's Dare to Dream, Accept the Challenge to Live Your Best Life. So dare to dream, accept the challenge. Yes, look at that, to live your best life. And what inspired me to write this book is because I see so many people and also so many women who are powerful, amazing people. And I see them living beneath their privilege. I see them not dreaming. I see them settling. And so I came to share with people that dreaming isn't just for kids. That dreaming isn't just for the person who created Walt Disney or for some other random people. Dreaming is for all of us, and dreaming is something that God gave us permission to do, and He gave us a blueprint on how to accomplish our goals and dreams. There is a blueprint for them. So this is for people who feel stuck. This is for people who know there's more for them, but they don't know how to get it or how to welcome it into their life. This is for people who spend their time, because they're givers, helping everybody else accomplish their goals and dreams. But I wanted to wake up the dreamer in them and let them know that their dream is also possible and can come to fruition with that same energy and love that they pour into others.
That is so powerful, Coach Tavia. And this is what you do, of course, in your programs, your coaching programs too.
Yes, ma'am.
Correct? Awesome. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Absolutely. So I have had the amazing opportunity to be able to help people to not only create and download a God-sized dream, but to walk it out and see results. Matter of fact, quick testimonial. So last week I did a 5-day challenge, and the 5-day challenge is dare to pray, because you connect with God to get that dream and vision, and then we walk it out as you dare to dream on the steps to do it, right? So one person that came to the challenge, she downloaded her God-sized dream, because if you could do it, then it's not a dream, it's just a goal, like clean up the garage, just set a date and do it. But when it becomes a dream, you know that you need supernatural assistance and help to accomplish that thing, right? So she downloaded and came and sat in her full vision. I mean, she felt all the emotions. It brought tears to her eyes, right? And then we prayed and sourced action steps. What can I do now that I see this dream and this vision? Well, you know that the very next day, one of her action steps was to have lunch with somebody who had been asking her to meet with them. And she kept thinking, I don't have time to do that because I'm helping so many other people and I'm doing many things. Well, during the challenge, she went out to lunch with that person. They said, I'm called the Finance Kingdom Vision. She had just did her vision, and we know that when you write the vision and make it plain, people are going to run with it. So Coach P, she shared with them what her vision was, and they said, oh, I want to help you. That's one thing. Fast forward to the next day, somebody reached out to her through a mutual acquaintance and said, hey, I heard about you. I heard that you write. I heard that you write plays, and I want to have a meeting with you because I'm a producer. The meeting was today with the producer. He has a whole plan of cities and states that she's going to be director of plays and events for. This came because this beautiful woman saw a bold call to action of dare to pray and dare to dream. And she decided to lean in, that it was time for a change in her life. And in 7 days, she is literally walking into a whole new reality. That's why
that is incredible. Incredible. Congratulations to her and to you for pouring into her. But more importantly, you know, I did a live today and it talked about finishing the assignment and you walking in your assignment and you have embraced it boldly, Coach Tavia. So what was the defining moment when you knew your story needed to be shared?
I think the defining moment when I knew my story needed to be shared was when I had gotten laid off from a company, and walking through all the parts of that, you know, the shock, the what's going to happen next, the feeling like you were lied to. And one day as I was waking up, I was coming into consciousness and I kept hearing, serve more people, serve more people, serve more people. And I jumped out of bed and I said, I am serving people. What people? What do you want me to do? And I heard coaching and teaching and speaking. And so as I began to learn and to study and to see what message I needed to put in the earth based on what was inside of me, dare to dream is the message that resonated in my heart. And I knew that other people needed to know that dreaming isn't a word that is just taboo to say, that we should be bold. It wasn't just for Martin Luther King to have a dream. We should be able to boldly say and know what our dream is and to take the action steps to accomplish it.
That's good stuff. So as you were in the process of taking those steps, how did you balance the vulnerability that it took to tell the story and the empowerment when sharing some of your personal story in Dare to Dream?
So for me, when it comes to sharing, I believe that honestly, it's like I literally feel a push, like, hey, say that. And my goal is to be obedient. Everything that I share is not always what I would want to tell people. I am actually an incredibly private person, contrary to what it may feel like on social media. Coach P, I am quiet. Like I could literally stay inside my house for a week and be fine. But when I feel the prompting of the Lord to share something, I know that it's for the greater good. I know that it's going to help change somebody's life. And so more so from the level of obedience is how I balance that vulnerability. If that's something that I feel prompted to share, even if I would normally just keep it tight to my chest, I'm going to release it because I know somebody's life is going to be changed. You never know that your story can help somebody that's having a 911 moment. Your story could be the thing that saves somebody's life. And so I've learned not to underestimate that nudge because lives are being changed.
That's so powerful. That is so powerful. So how has, now that you've written your book, how has it impacted your business as a coach,
Mhm.
speaker, and author?
As a coach, speaker, and author, it gives more talking points. As a coach, speaker, and author, going to events, having a book table, it provides credibility. I had a meeting yesterday with someone who came to a conference but lives in California. And in my meeting with her, she pulled up my book and she said, I bought this book a month ago at the conference. And she said, it goes with me everywhere.
Wow.
And
Wow.
so people can't always watch you on social media. They're not always doing X, Y, and Z, but she decided to carry my book with her. And so it's such an amazing ability to be able to impact a person's life, to be able to be a face that they see, or so they can pick up and read the words over and over and over again. So it's been very impactful. It's opened doors for conferences. It's opened doors for book signings. It's opened doors for me to be here with you, Coach P.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So it's a beautiful thing to be able to have even more clarity in my brand, also even more continuity in my brand as well.
Yes, yes, yes. So my final question for you is this, Coach Tavia. If you could go back to the version of yourself before you started writing, and you were thinking, I want to do this book, I'm inspired to do this book, what would you say to her?
If I could go back to the version of me before I started writing this book, I would tell her to be bold. I would tell her to be radical. I would tell her that your voice is waiting to be heard, and that there is a hunger for this level of truth. There's a hunger for this level of transparency. There's a hunger for this level of information that is rarely said in the way that God gave it to me to put it out. And I would tell her, don't be afraid.
Don't be
Don't
afraid.
be afraid of what people are going to say when they read your book. Don't be afraid of their faces or responses, because you are an answer to a prayer.
Mm, you are an answer to a prayer. Let me just type that. Let me see. Someone type that in comments. You are an answer to a prayer. I tell you what, Coach Tavy, you have gotten us off to a great start tonight. You are an answer to a prayer. I love it. Coach or Alicia Verdun is here. Hello there, Alicia. She said, hey, Coach P, Alicia here. Awesome. So glad that you're here tonight. Coach Tavia, thank you, thank you, thank you. I know you are off. You've got to go off and change more lives, impact more people, transform more people. So thank you, thank you, thank you for your time tonight. And we've got to share with people how they can get your book. And I am going to share that now. Okay. Something interesting just happened to the screen, huh? All right. Let me bring us back. Awesome. You're an answer to a prayer. I love it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. For those of you who are watching, can you see the full screen? All right. Oh, 1 second here. Hopefully y'all can see. Can y'all see me still? I tell you, technology is awesome. Technology is awesome. All right, we are back. Okay. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Coach Tavia. Here you are. We're going to say, I do have your link up there. Excellent. So everybody take that link down. We'll also post it in comments. Okay. So to all of our authors, please make sure you post your links to your books in comments. All right. So we're going to go ahead and bring up our next speaker, our next author, and that would be a coach. Let me just get her book up here. And that is Coach Letitia Lamar. Be great, be great, be great. So I'm going to go ahead and remove the link here. Multitasking. I love it. I love it. I love it. So let me allow me to introduce Coach Lakeisha. Coach Letitia, Coach Letitia. That is who I am bringing to the stage, y'all. So Coach Letitia is a transformational life coach, CEO of Ventura Consults and Ventura Leadership Solutions, and former public school interventionist. 31 years in intensive reading and career and technical education. She's credentialed as a K adult administrator, master's in educational leadership, and a fun fact about her is that she loves interior design. So let me bring to the stage Coach Letitia Lamar. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Hello.
Hello. I am so excited that you are here tonight. And if you could please share with everyone, again, the title of your book, what inspired you to write your book.
Yes, my book is entitled Be Great, a Personal Development Legacy Summit. And what inspired me to write this book was the fact that I was encountering more and more ministry and workplace leaders who were not really pursuing their back burner aspirations in the area of, their relationships, their health and wellness, their career or entrepreneurship, and legacy. And so I was seeing that there was a need to support leaders in those domains.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. And so how has writing this book changed you personally or professionally?
Well, it has changed me totally because, I knew the message that I have, that is in my coaching program. It's very strong, but to be able to have a guidebook to expand that message and to introduce, the concepts and the framework, so that readers, just like Coach Tavia mentioned, they can take this book anywhere they go. They can have it read to them as well as they travel. And so, I knew that, this book needed to be in the hands of all of my clients and even those who are yet to become clients. Yes. And so I'm just excited about it.
Excellent. Well, we are excited. I know it's been a journey for you, but you have made it happen. And with that being said, we're going to bring up our next author to join you on stage. We're going to move you for just one moment and bring up to the stage Coach Jennifer Jackson. And then what we're going to do is have each of you coaches share what inspired you to write your book, and then we'll all come together and have one big conversation. So I'm excited about that. Thank you, Coach Letitia. See you in a moment. All right. So the next coach that I am going to bring to the stage is Coach Jennifer Jackson. And Coach Jennifer Jackson is absolutely amazing. She has written several books. She is a certified Christian trauma-informed care coach and the author of, and retired United States Army veteran. Thank you for your service. And she's currently serving as a victim advocate. She serves women from 25 to 55 to help them transform from the trauma they experience so they can heal, forgive, and move on and live a life that God has called them into. And she has one son. His name is Jonathan. And a fun fact is she won't eat anything that has a white sauce. That is a fun fact. So let me bring to the stage Coach Jennifer Jackson.
Hey, Coach P.
Hey, that's funny. That is funny. So thank you so much for joining us tonight. Can you share with us again the title of your book and what inspired you to write? And you've written several books.
Yes. So the title of the main book that I wrote that God pushed me into writing is It Didn't Break Me, My Personal Struggle with Depression and How One Word from God Changed My Life.
Excellent. And with that being said, I am going to ask you a few more questions, but I'm going to do that in just a moment. I'm bring your other sister coaches to the stage so they can introduce themselves. And I love it. You straight to the point. This is why I did it. This is it. That's it.
Yes,
So,
ma'am.
yes. And so, with that, thank you so much. And we'll see you in just a moment as I bring to the stage Coach Pamela Hankins. Coach Pamela Hankins, I am looking for, there you have it right there. Coach Pamela Hankins is exciting. She is a part of our Coach with Confidence Academy. And she's a dedicated author, relationship coach, and visionary leader. She's passionate about empowering women to experience divine transformation from the inside out, with a focus on equipping women to rise from challenging paths. Pamela draws inspiration from the Mercedes-Benz G-Wagon, a symbol of grace. She encourages women to embrace their faith, prayer, and purpose while honoring their feminine energy. So help me bring to the stage Coach Pamela Hankins.
Good
Hello there,
evening,
Coach
Coach
Pamela.
P.
Great evening.
How are
Great
you?
evening. I am well. So glad that you are here tonight. And can you please share with us the title of your book and what inspired you to write it?
Absolutely. The title of my book is called The Chronicles of a Praying Wife. I was inspired by that is the 30 Days to Divine Transformation, which is a journal in which I wrote during my time in the program. And it is off the basis of my book, The Chronicles of a Praying Wife. But the 30 Days to Divine Transformation journal is 30 days of just spending time closely with God. And so each day you get a scripture and you journal and you meditate on that word. And it is my hope through that journal that it helps build the foundation for women to have a stronger relationship with God.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And so with that being said, we're going to bring up our last final coach tonight who's going to share her book. So allow me to read her bio, introduce her. That is Coach Letitia Carter. Coach Lakeisha Carter. I'm excited that Coach Lakeisha is here. She took the challenge and she started working with one of our partners, which is a publisher. And I'll have Coach Lakeisha share with you her name in just one moment. And she took the challenge and she did it. And she got her book written in record time. So Coach Lakeisha is a mother. She's a speaker. She's a best-selling author, certified Christian transformation coach. She has over 20 years of global management consulting experience, and she's the owner of Pinnacle ULLC, a personal and professional development practice serving women of color. She is from Jacksonville, Florida, and resides in Charlotte, North Carolina. Help me bring to the stage Coach Lakeisha Carter. Hello there, Coach Lakeisha.
Hello, Coach P. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited. I love how you did that intro.
All right now. All right. Yes. And so please share with us the title of your book and what inspired you to write that book.
Certainly. The title of my book is Unapologetic: Bold Leadership Success Strategies for Women of Color. And what inspired me to write this book is from my own personal journey of overcoming shrinkage, which is playing small in life and living beneath my God-given potential. Yeah. And so that was the source. And I also wanted to empower other women to rise into the fullness of their God-given identity and potential. So I'm just so excited to be able to share this book with the world and transform lives.
Excellent. Thank you. I so appreciate you sharing that. You know, when we think about writing, right, we think about our experiences. And what I love about all of these authors is that they were vulnerable enough to write their experiences. And so with that being said, we want to ask you more questions, Coach Lakeisha. We want to bring up all of our authors to the stage to really get into this thing, right? So all of you out there, if you have questions for our authors, please put them in comments as I bring them all to the stage now. Okay, welcome back, Coach Letitia. Welcome back. And then we'll have Coach Jennifer come to the stage and Coach Pamela come to the stage. All right. And let me see. Let's just try a little something different. There we go. It looks a little bit better. All right. So with that being said, we're going to do round robin questions. And as a part of the process in interviewing, of course, it's always great to have questions prepared. And so the coaches have been preparing and they are ready. So for those of you out there who know podcasters who are interested in interviewing, listen to the topics of their books, listen to the types of coaches they are. And if you know of podcasters who may be interested in having any of the coaches on their shows, please do connect with them and share so that they can really spread the word about their books. That's one of the ways that you can really help them in their mission to finish their assignment, the assignments that God has given to them. And so with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and call on Coach Jay first. Coach Jay, what was the most powerful or emotional part of the writing process for you?
So I actually started writing when I was deployed. So I was actually deployed in the Middle East and had a traumatic event that happened prior to me deploying. Okay. So having to rationalize and having to process what had happened, it was just like a whole lot of things just started coming down. Because even when you read my book, like the forward says, it even states on there like it's April the 19th. And I'm like making an excuse of why I don't want to write this book, like in this forward and stuff. But it was just necessary because it was just stuff from my childhood that just started coming up that was like making me fall into a state of depression. And I found a red tablet and I hand wrote 12 chapters of about how God helped me and broke me from depression. And I'm not going to lie, I wanted to stop. But at the end of the day, I had to realize that it was not about me, and just having people to realize that you can be saved, sanctified, and filled with the Holy Spirit and still battle with depression. But unless you let God work that thing out, you will continue to go through those cycles. So it's all about giving him glory and helping other people to know that you're not in this by yourself.
That's good. That's good. You're not by yourself. Excellent. And so let me move on over to Coach Pamela and ask this question. What was the defining moment when you knew that your story needed to be shared?
When one of my sister coaches said that we have an accountability group, and I was just sharing the journal to get an opinion. And she was like, oh my goodness, I would buy this. I'm like, you would buy it? And then that's when I knew that I had something.
Yeah, that's excellent. And that's what inspired you. Now, you knew that you had, was that the journal though? Because you had already written a book prior to coming to the program.
That is correct. And so even in writing the Chronicles of a Praying Wife, it was God who inspired me. He told me one day while I was listening to Fred Hammond's Love and Marriage soundtrack that I had to write the book because there were so many other women who needed to know that you could come back from an unhappy path in your relationships.
That's good. Very good. And so along those lines of creating impact, let's move on over to Coach Letitia. Coach Letitia, you're really big on legacy. What legacy do you want your book to leave?
I want this book to leave a legacy that is so powerful that post-secondary institutions will include this as part of their required reading. Also, to have forums surrounding the topic, and to even make it part of a graduation portfolio.
Gotcha. Thank you for that. Thank you. That's awesome. You know, we always have to have that vision, right, of where we want the book to go. You know, even as we are beginning that writing process, you know, how will you use this book? And begin with the end in mind, as Stephen Covey says, right? So let's go back over to Coach Lakeisha. Were there any fears or challenges you had to overcome to finish your book? And please do share about your book coach. You actually had a book coach, and you were in the book accountability program, right?
Yes, I was. I'm so glad you mentioned that. I had the honor to be part of the Victorious Youth Self-Publishing cohort this summer under the leadership of Dr. Joan T. Randall. And I had several challenges because I didn't have the plan or vision to write a book. I did not know where to start. And so with the cohort in place, we were given the structure, the steps from start to finish.
Okay.
And to your point, I was given 30 days to write the book. And that was my biggest challenge, really, is the timeline. And I work a full-time job. I also have a life, and balancing and having the discipline to write on a schedule was the most difficult part. To the point where midway through the challenge, I said, I don't even know what I signed up for. I don't even know why I signed up. And I reached out to my cohort community and I just asked for prayer. And these ladies went to the throne on my behalf. And I promise you, the next day, the words just started flowing. And so the power of community and having like-minded sisters around me gave me that extra push.
Yeah.
And so I was able to finish on time, even though it was 11:59 p.m. On the deadline. I was able to finish and get this book out on paper. So that's how I was able to overcome that challenge.
Excellent. You had accountability, right? Accountability, and Dr. Randall, she is awesome. And so, for those of you out there who are not familiar, Dr. Joan T. Randall, she has a publishing company, and here in the Next Level Mastermind, we have partners. We have partners with Coach with Confidence, the Academy. We have partners to help the coaches do what God is calling them to do. And in this case, these coaches have stepped up to the plate. Some of them, Coach Jennifer, I know you had written your book prior, but the Next Level Mastermind is designed to support coaches on their journey as they become triple threats, those coaches, those speakers, and those authors. And so with that being said, let's go back over to Coach Letitia. Coach Letitia, let me ask you this, how are you using your book to elevate your brand or your coaching business?
I am using my book, as I mentioned before, it's a guidebook. So definitely with my VIP clients, they are reading prior to their session with me. And it gives us, a working knowledge. And they're coming with, so many ideas and questions. And so definitely using it as a pre-read and as a, workflow, in answering the journalistic questions, the summit, because this is an elevation in their thinking and in their execution. And so it gives them a place to document what their thoughts are, what their questions are, and what their next steps will be. Because it's not just about reflection, but it's also about action. And so that's how it's being used. It's being used as a guide, as a pre-read, and as a level of accountability.
So you have the book and the workbook. Right?
Yes, the workbook will be coming out. Yes.
All right, the second, I love it. And having resources, right? So you have a vision for the book, and then the question to ask ourselves is, what else could serve our clients at the highest level? And so you said, okay, they need a workbook, and you've added that workbook. That is amazing. So with that being said, let's go on over to Coach Pamela. How does your book connect to the programs or services that you're offering now?
My book and journal are truly the basis of my signature program and services that I offer. It takes those who would participate through the journey, the same exact journey, excuse me, that God took me through. And that was first to surrender and to realize that everything that we do, every thought, every desire, we should always surrender that to Him. And then we should be humble. We need to humble ourselves in knowing that even for all of the things that we have, the only reason why we have them is out of His love, His grace, and His mercy for us. And then just knowing, to believing that He is the true and living God, and that He would withhold nothing good from us.
Thank you for that. Thank you. Thank you. So let's go over to Coach Jennifer. What surprised you? I know you've written several books, right? So did you have any big surprises in the publishing process?
Not really, because when I got my first opportunity to write, it was actually from a book author that I was already following, and she gave the opportunity to co-author in her book. It cost me everything, so I actually did just a chapter piece of my story about depression. And so then when I was doing that deployment, that's when the Lord said, "No, I need you to write more." So it was like I already had that bridge and stuff. It was just a matter of, okay, Jennifer, when are you going to actually start and you're going to get this book out there and start doing what it is that you need to do in order to not just support, other people, but just have a place to where people needed someone to reach out to. You're an open source for that person to reach out to, and just being able to be vulnerable to other people.
That's good stuff. That is good stuff. And so with that being said, what advice would you give to another author, aspiring author, who really wants to turn their story into a business asset?
I would just say just be obedient and follow the Holy Spirit. But most of all, ask Him to lead you to someone who is going to hold you accountable, someone, because I don't like being sugarcoated, and I don't like people just like sugarcoating and playing with me and stuff like that. Like somebody who is actually going to be firm with you, and somebody who is actually going to pour into you, that no matter what, and when you want to throw in the towel, like you always say, just show up. Regardless if you don't feel like it, just show up, because when you're showing up, you're showing God, you know what, there is more that I can put on the inside of you. But just asking God to lead you to the right people, because oftentimes people will say, I will help you, but there's a cost that comes more than what God is telling you to pour out to that individual. So just ask God to lead you to the people. Like with Miss Lakeisha, she found her people, she found her tribe, and God blessed her the way how to get her book out there. So yes, ma'am.
That's right. That's right. Thank you for that, Coach Jay. Awesome. So Coach Carol said, congratulations, sister coaches. She's out there in the Facebook land. Thank you. Thank you. And we do have a question from Be Smart Coaching from Coach Melania, who's a part of our Coach with Confidence Academy. And her question is, can one or all of the coaches please share their writing process? What did they do to prioritize the time to write, edit, and publish their books? So we're going to ask each of you to share that question, okay? Or share your responses to that question, okay? So again, it is, please share your writing process. And then what did you do to prioritize your time to write, edit, and publish your books? So let's go on over to Coach Letitia first.
Well, I believe in, using graphic organizers to organize. I'm a visionary, so I have to plan it out. I'm also, aesthetically inclined, as an interior designer as well. And so just having that cover, the cover I was able to just move quickly once I was able to work with my graphic organizer to get that, my graphic designer. I was able to just move quickly with the content once that cover back and front was done with the overview of the book, the introduction. And, I used the content from my coaching program and expanded that for the chapter. So the content was ready to go. I just needed to expand it. And so I made sure each workshop became a chapter of the book. And so everything is aligned, is lockstep. And the feedback that I've received from individuals, they are very pleased and they can follow the progression, the elevation, and the scaffolding, from baseline understanding through evaluation. And so just making the time, also having an excellent editor, having an experienced graphic designer that is flexible, because I also have a background in graphic design, and so I had a lot of input. I worked very closely with my graphic designer, and so just having those individuals, and also Coach P being a multi-author, just having the right team will help you to move along. And you do have to be disciplined. You do, because there's so much to take you away.
Surely, especially when you have several initiatives going at the same time, right?
Yes.
Awesome. Thank you. How about you, Coach Lakeisha?
I would say I'll share 4 steps just because I'm a step-by-step person. So the first step really was defining the why. I had to start with the vision. Why is this book important? Who is it for? And what is the outcome that I want my reader to have? Because it wasn't about just me getting the story out. It was about who the book was meant to serve. And that's where I had to start before I could really begin to organize around what the book would entail. So number 1 was the vision. Second was the plan. And so that's how, once I understood the vision and who it was for, then I had to organize, okay, what are all the main pillars of the book? What are the main things that this book needs to have in it so that they can get what they need? And then third, that's where the writing and the proofreading and the editing, third step, the editing came into play. And that took the longest. We had help, but we had to self-edit and proofread over and over and over. So I did invest in some editing tools to help me. I know there's Grammarly, but there's so many other tools out there that really was useful in helping organize and clean up some of the grammar and all those types of things. And then the fourth step really is putting the package together. The title, the cover, the back of the cover, the front, all the specifications. And then when you want to publish on Amazon, that's an entirely different level of being strategic on book placement in the categories you want it to be in, and how you might own your own ISBN number and not take the free one from Amazon. So all of those details to get it to market was my process. And again, I had the help of a cohort to help guide me through, but now I can do it again myself if I want to. So
excellent. Excellent. And that was on your road to becoming a best-selling author, right? As you were talking about finding the categories on Amazon. And so you're a bestseller. And then we have Coach Tisha. She's a bestseller as well. So congratulations, ladies, for that. All right. Coach Pamela, what was your book writing process? And then what did you do to prioritize your time, edit, and publish your books?
So my process, I had to set the mood. And I had to set days out of the week to be able to write. Because in the beginning, I had no clue how to organize my story. I knew it, but I didn't know how to organize it. So once I had the structure, I would pray before I would write, and then I would play DAPT keys. And that would help the flow of what I needed to write. And I would write until I was empty. And if it meant 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, from the time I got off of work, then that is how I wrote. When it came to editing, I tried using some, Grammarly's and other things like ChatGPT. I didn't like that it didn't sound like me. So what I would do is have people that I knew that knew me to read it to see if it made sense. But if I had to go back and talk to myself and say what I would do for editing, I would definitely go into a recording studio or some type of recording app and read it out loud, because then that's really when you get the gist of, does this really sound right? Is the grammar and sentence structure, does it flow? Not just from what you read, but what you hear. And the publishing, I took the easy way out. I gave it to somebody and said, here, help me with this, because I was clueless. But now, since then, I've learned what you would need to do to publish through KDP on my own.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you for that. All right. We're going to pitch it over to Coach Jay.
Okay, so my first writing experience was completely different than anybody said here on this platform. Again, I was deployed, and when the Lord said to write, He literally gave me chapter by chapter by chapter title, from like the time I was 4 years old, when I went into foster care. Like, He strategically gave me the topics that I need to write. In the midst of that, I would just sit there and write, and I would cry. Jesus, I don't want to reveal this to people. Okay, it ain't about you. Okay, Lord. So for me, I really can't say I prioritize. It was just something I knew I had to do, because with me being deployed and me having to make sure that I was taking care of my soldiers and the people around me, it was just like, okay, you got to do this, you got to do this. But the one thing that I did make sure that I did prioritize self-care by going to the gym, like working out, because I knew I had to make myself be centered and whatnot. And so from that standpoint, because like I say, I had already worked with a mentor who gave me an opportunity to co-author in her book and stuff, then I already had that piece right there. But it was just one of those things to where it's like, okay, she would say, okay, I'm sending this back to you, I'm sending this back to you. But even for my cover, I was just like, okay, Lord, I went to Shutterstock. And I just said, woman with freedom. Boom, that picture popped up. I was like, Jesus, you're shining down on her face. She is no longer shackled. That's it right there. And so that was just my process. But He took me through a different process with the next book that I'm getting ready to write, because it is strategically based off of my brand and my coaching and stuff like that. So that was a learning experience for the next step for my next book.
Okay, awesome. Thank you for sharing that, Coach Jay.
Yes, ma'am.
And thank you all for being transparent and for giving of yourselves and sharing your experiences. And so now, as we come down, we're landing the plane, right? We're landing the plane, and I want to go back to Coach Lakeisha and ask her to address how writing this book has impacted her personally and professionally.
Did you meant me, Coach?
Did I say Coach Lakeisha?
I know we're so close.
I've been trying to give them the same laugh. I've been trying to make Coach Lakeisha's sister, and name her Lamar. So yes, Coach Lakeisha.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
No problem.
Thank you for the clarification. Yes.
Yes.
It had. Okay. Because I thought you answered that question.
She did, but I want to go back over to Coach Letitia. Go ahead.
Yeah.
It wasn't back. Okay, I thought you were asking me that question.
Yes.
Let me sit back.
Okay, that's all right.
Yeah. Well, earning Amazon bestseller in journaling has positioned me as a thought leader, and it has boosted my confidence to design Be Great, the workbook. And so with that, it will be more introspective in questioning and examples, and knowing that there's a chapter by chapter resource aligned to my presentation content. It really helps to be an asset for my clients to have at their fingertips. And so it has changed me personally and professionally in knowing that I can help my clients really get it and get it to the point that they can impact those that they lead, with the same message.
That's good. Thank you for that. Thank you. That leads me to our final question today. And I'm going to ask all of you the same question. And I want you to finish the sentence. It's not so much a question. I want you to finish the sentence. Writing my book made me realize. Writing my book made me realize. Coach Pamela.
I knew you were going to start with me. And I'm over here trying to fight back the tears. Yeah. Because it really made me realize that I have purpose. And when I did my book signing, my first book signing in Pittsburgh, to see my grandchildren run and see the advertisement, and it was me. And they were like, Nanny, 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 that's you, that's you, that's you. And they were so excited and so proud. And it made me realize, they're watching. And so my purpose is to ensure that I show them that they can do all things through Christ Jesus, who strengthens them, that there is nothing good that God would withhold. And so, that's what writing has done for me, just not only personally, but even professionally as well.
Excellent. Thank you for that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And Coach Melania says, thank you all for your inspiration, grace, and generosity in sharing your process. Yes, thank you so much for that. Coach Jay.
So for me, honestly, it has been because I am a very private person and I don't share too much unless the Holy Spirit tells me to, but it has taught me that it is okay to be vulnerable and being transparent, because like even with the job that I do, whenever the Holy Spirit leads me to share, like being in foster care, just certain things, I know that he's not just telling me to share just to share, but it's to be like, hey, what you see right now, you might see what I drive, you might see all of this, but trust and believe you me. God is the author of this story. He's the one that is still writing. So it's just empowered me to be able to say, you know what, with every stroke of the pen, it's not about us. It's not about me, but it's about the people who God wants to reach so that they can know that, guess what? They still have a purpose. And as long as they got breath in their bodies, life is still life for them.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Thank you for that, Coach Jay. Coach Lakeisha, writing your book made you realize what?
Writing my book made me realize that my journey of overcoming shrinkage in my personal life, my professional life, is a universal issue. My book, unapologetically, is for women of color, and I'm very strong on that. But through the feedback that I've received, white, Black, men, women, what I've realized is that this is a movement, and that this story of rising into the fullness of your God-given identity is a call to action for every human being with breath walking on the earth. Yeah. And so it has expanded my own view and my own vision of the impact of this story. And that's what it has made me realize.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Let's go on over to Coach Letitia to close us out with that question or that response. Writing your book made you realize that.
Writing my first book made me realize how necessary it is to finish my memoir, which is the second book, and to complete the children's book series, which was a childhood dream. And so by doing so, it's really legacy now, and it's a dream realized. And so the first book has propelled me to just keep moving forward. And so My memoir should be done by next week.
All right. Whoop, whoop, whoop. I don't have my little emojis to go float across the screen. Excellent. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I am just so proud of each of you. So proud. I know that this has been a journey, and it's writing a book is very cathartic, but it's also very empowering. And I know that y'all are not the same women that you were before you on the other side of the pen, when you were on that other side, right? You are better for having shared your literary work, shared your ideas, shared your experiences. And so it's not for the faint of heart. But you've been so encouraging tonight and so inspiring. And again, I thank each of you because you entrust me to continue to educate, equip, and empower each of you. And to wrap up tonight, again, several of you are, well, let me see. We have several Next Level Mastermind members, and then we've got Coach with Confidence members as well. So if each of you can share how the Next Level Mastermind has supported you on this journey. Coach Jay.
Oh, okay. You with me first. All right. So, like with my work schedule, I'm able to still go back in and check on things that I'm able to go back and check on. And I am grateful for, still being able to be a part of this year's cohort, because with the rebranding, it's keeping me accountable and staying focused on what I need to do and to be ready for 2026, because it's all about his purpose.
That's right. That's right. And Coach Jay was a part of the Coach with Confidence Academy several years ago. And when you're a part of the Academy, you have lifetime access. So you can come back. And as Coach Jay said, she is rebranding and doing some different things in her program. So she wanted to come back and get the support. So she is here, and we're excited to have her back. Let's go on over to Coach Letitia.
Yes, hearing from the experts, monthly, and then also Coach P, just having your planned topics with additional resources has really helped to build that binder of, what it really will take to be the author, the coach, and the speaker. And so I do like the rotation of that. I do like the experts coming in and then having it all recorded so that you can access it as needed and also participate and post. And it's a community of leaders and aspiring coaches and authors. And so there's so much to learn from each other.
Good stuff. Thank you for that. Thank you both. All right, Coach Lakeisha.
I'll be real quick. Next Level Mastermind has been so impactful to me. It has increased my confidence every week in and week out, and quarterly. You deliver such amazing content and training. It has helped me to become a better entrepreneur. You cover all the bases, and I just believe it's the best program around, and it's worth every cent of an investment.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for that. Let's finish with Coach Pamela.
It has been an honor and a pleasure to be a part of the Coach with Confidence program. What I really love about it is the accountability and the sisterhood. I mean, it's really a sisterhood. Even though I have a particular cohort that I'm close with, and we meet, if not every Sunday, every other Sunday, I have the opportunity with the other offerings that you have to even have accountability by Coach Jay, which I really appreciate, because it was very insightful when I was not sure if I was going to be able to get through this program. And she gave me some real good tips and encouragement. And so I would strongly, strongly recommend the Coach with Confidence program, the Next Level Mastermind, any of them, because you definitely are going to ensure that we can do just that. Coach with Confidence. I think I shared with you before, It's not like artificial insemination when it comes to our coaching program. We really do the work, and you ensure that we can truly do just as the program says, coach with confidence. So thank you for that, Coach P.
Thank you so much. Thank you all for just sharing your experiences. I am honored to have each of you. I'm blessed beyond measure, and I grow because of you. And I thank you for all that you give to yourselves, which encourages me to give you even more. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, everyone, for coming tonight. Again, if you're interested in learning more about the Next Level Mastermind, I'll be putting the link, but you can go to powerhouseinmotion.com. That's powerhouseinmotion.com. And find out more about the Coach with Confidence Academy or the Next Level Mastermind membership. All right. So with that being said, I want to rotate the actual links to their books. So you can go ahead and get the books as I share how the Next Level Mastermind works. So let's bring the first one up, and that is Coach Letitia. There you are. So please go ahead and write that link down to grab. Be great. So the Next Level Mastermind is a membership, and we meet every Friday for Power Hour for 12 weeks straight. Each month focuses on a different thing. The first month is coaching, like September was coaching. Last month was becoming an author, and this month is becoming a speaker. And then do we have a gap month? During that gap month, we don't meet on Fridays. We meet on a Saturday for 3 hours. I do a 3-hour workshop, and it is an intentional workshop on a specific topic. If you really are excited about what you've heard tonight, come on and join us, because of course we will be talking about how to get prepared for 2026 in the training for next month in December. This is always on a Saturday. So please come and join us. You've already heard it. I can't say it enough. I am blessed because of them. And so with that being said, I have 2 more here. Let me see. We got Coach Tavia. Let's not forget her. And then I need Coach Pamela. Let me see. Coach Pamela, you said you put the link here. This is the correct link now?
Yes,
okay.
ma'am.
All right. I'll go ahead and post your link so that everyone can see your link to get. All right. And then I need Coach, I think Coach Lakeisha, right? Did I post yours yet?
Yeah, I think I saw it.
Okay, that's Coach Pamela's link. And then Coach, okay, so Lakeisha, Coach Letitia, and Coach Jay. Coach Jay, I need your link. Where is your link? Did you put it in for me for your book?
Yes, ma'am. It's in the chat.
It's in the chat. Okay. All right. Let me go grab that up. And then we're going to wrap it up for tonight. Okay, Coach. Okay, here you go. I got it right here. All right. Here we are. And thank you, Alicia, for joining. And thank you for connecting me to Coach Pamela. It has been a true blessing to have her. So thank you, thank you, thank you all for joining us tonight. Have a wonderful evening. And we're going to go ahead and post these links in all the platforms. So coaches, I want to encourage you to go to your platforms and share the live. So you can go to my page literally and share the live to your page if you weren't able to share for whatever reason. If you were, great, but make sure you go and post a link to your book, okay, on your respective platforms. And then I'll make sure that all of your links are in all of our platforms on LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube. All right. So everyone have a wonderful evening. Thank you for your time tonight. And pick up a pen, y'all, and just start writing out there. You've heard it from some of the best tonight. So you've gotten some great nuggets. So go make it happen. The world needs you. Finish your assignment. God bless.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.